Hey, today I am going to share with you some of the best coaching or leadership questions I have ever seen in my career of being 19 years in the training and coaching and development space. And I'm actually going to, they were so good, I put them on a thing here, and this is what they're called, my badass list. If you're on the podcast, sorry, I whispered that, I mouthed that, because we have young ears listening a lot of times. And I want to give you some context. I got a call today from one of my leaders who is really, really, really awesome. And she just said, she explained a scenario and she said, Tasha, I don't know how to help this person. And I gave her some suggestions on how to help this person and realized that I think most uplines are going through their day-to-day with their team and they're saying, I don't know how to help this person. I believe your role, if you're the upline, and maybe you don't have a team quite yet, but clarifying your role as the upline, I think will give you more confidence to bring people onto your team, invite them to learn how to make money with your company. And I think it's really important to just clarify what your role as a network marketing leader is. Your role is to encourage them. Your role is to support skill development. And your role is to really help them to be a little bit more clear than when they started interacting with you. It's not to be their boss. It's not to be their end all be all. And remember that when people join network marketing, they don't want a boss, and you don't want to be a boss. Your role, what your compensation plan says, is we need to make sales, help customers with the product. We need to grow our impact through basically giving people opportunities to make money, jobs, right? And we bring people on and we say something like, we want to help a lot of people. I can only help so many people. If you help some people too, then we can all help more people together. And we together help more people. And then there's also this leadership development side where there are huge bonuses when you're able to bring on someone who does really, really, really well with their business. It is important to remember that if they are pursuing their business, it is their business. It's not your business. You're not the CEO. You are really taking more of a place of a coach or a mentor, and you're not their boss. However, most uplines, just because they haven't really developed these mentorship or leadership or coaching skills, will end up defaulting to telling people what to do. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. You end up with some resistance and people don't do stuff and you're not really sure what you can be doing differently. And I think that most uplines will agree that spend a decent amount of their day saying, man, I don't know how to help them. And I read this book called The Coaching Habit, and it talks about these 7 questions that you can use in coaching. And I put them on a list on my computer, and I have found them to just be so helpful in cutting through a lot of the noise and being able to help people more efficiently, more effectively, without knowing every single answer under the sun, because we're only human with limited time on this earth and limited exposure. We're not going to be able to know everything. And I think that if you take these questions and you tuck them in your back pocket, then you can be more confident in growing your team and stepping into a space where you can encourage, support skill development, and bring clarity. Here are the 7 questions. Number 1, what's on your mind? Number 2, and what else? Number 3, what's the real challenge here? Number 4, what do you want? Number 5, how can I help? Number 6, if you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? And number 7, what was most useful to you? And that's really from the conversation. So let me take just a second and elaborate on each one, and really how I think it helps you to get your person that you're trying to support back on track, back engaged, without cutting them off or anything. There can be a lot of drama and rabbit trails, and you end up trying to do therapy or something, and this helps with that. So what's on your mind? I think that's pretty obvious. We want to know if anything is consuming their mind right now, because unless we get that out of their mind and they say it or they write it or whatever, it's going to cloud their ability to really hear anything or to move forward. Finding out what's on their mind. Usually what's on their mind is going to be something that is most useful or really helpful to understand where they're coming from. And what else? We love asking what else, or teaching our clients to ask what else, because there's usually a lot more than just the first thing, and it really shows that you care about them. Now, here's the question that was new for me and I really, really loved. And it is, what's the real challenge here? I have done this where I have just kind of gone nuts on my business partner, like, this is all the thing that's going on in my mind, and she'll smile because we've talked about this and say, well, what's the real challenge here? And I'll laugh and I'll be like, there isn't one, or it's actually this other thing that's bothering me. And it forces the person you're chatting with to pinpoint what actually is the challenge, as opposed to you trying to address all the different smoke screens that are out there, and make it hard for anyone to move forward. The fourth is, what do you want? This one I learned before this book when I was watching Scandal, and Olivia Pope would just ask the client, well, what do you want? And if we as leaders don't know what they want, then we might give them a path that is going to get them the opposite place. We might be making some assumptions. And when we ask, what's the real challenge and what do you want, that's super helpful. Sometimes just figuring out what you want clears up the challenge in and of itself, or whatever is going on. Number 5, how can I help? Instead of assuming how you can help, asking them and really forcing them to be a part of the conversation instead of you hopping in there and saving them all the time. Consistently doing this will really create a much better relationship, which is awesome. Now, sometimes they won't know how you can help, and that might be a little frustrating for them. So if they don't know the answer, then you can maybe throw out a couple, I can help you in this way or this way, which would work better for you. I think that would be helpful if they don't know, but they might know how you can help, and that makes everyone's job a lot easier. If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? This is powerful because you can't do all the things. And this helps time management stay on track, planning and prioritization stay on track, and it helps them to improve their critical thinking skills. And then at the end of your conversation, to ask what's most useful for you is really, really awesome, because then you're on the same page with what was helpful for them. You know what to repeat in the future, and then they know what they've taken away, and it works really, really well. Oh, well, that was embarrassing. It's allergy season. I think the winds are kicking up here. So those are the 7 questions that I thought would be really, really helpful for you. What's on your mind and what else? What's the real challenge here? What do you want? How can I help? If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? And what was most useful for you? That's it for me. I hope that those questions really help you to improve the performance of your team members, because we know that ultimately your income is going to be linked to how many successful people on your team that you have. And the more the better. Not everyone's going to be successful, but this will just give you a little bit more of an edge in conversations to keep them on track and to keep them productive. All right, that's it. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.